I was raised in the bush in Australia, 2 hours inland from Sydney. I did a lot of stuff on my own. I loved to be outside. I'd make myself little trophies. Always been obsessed with animals. I'd make a little raft, and the flag was always the Japanese flag because a white pillowcase and a big red dot is the easiest thing to make. I loved being outside because that was what I knew, and it fit me perfectly. It was exactly what I needed. I had free reign in a good sense to just sort of explore and be a kid and be myself. Whatever creative outlet I want to explore, whatever path I wanted to explore, and even as I grew up, whatever direction that took, if I have a passion or creative kind of energy for something, I can do it. I knew I was going to be, as much as possible, working for myself, but I never grew up thinking that I would be a photographer. With photography, it stuck with me for so long because there was endless things to learn, endless things to try, endless things to shoot. I did kind of think this was going to be my tool. This is my career for the rest of my life. When digital started becoming part of the market, I thought it was super fascinating. You could snap like, 30 pictures and then choose your favorite expression. The time it took to think about, oh, did I expose that right? Finding pictures on a roll that you forgot you even took that ended up being your favorite ones. All that excitement and mystery and anticipation was gone. I didn't know it was time to move on, but I felt like I was getting pushed out of it. If I lose passion in something that I'm doing, there's just no way to keep doing it. And it's not possible. My kind of career path from photography into designing and building houses was a slower one. I, had enough money to afford to buy a super cheap house that needed a ton of work, and to be able to stretch the money that I had to do it myself. There were some good friends around me that I think doubted that I would be able to do this. And all that basically did for me was, well, I'm gonna do it then. And so that's what I did. I put the camera down and started drawing what I wanted this house to look like. Day one was ripping the entire roof off of a house that I just bought. And so I just purchased the most expensive thing I've ever purchased and destroyed it in the first week. And then there was no turning back. I was approached as I was nearing completion on that by an annual festival, design festival that Atlanta does along with a magazine to be part of the magazine. My house was photographed and articles written up in this Modern Atlanta magazine. And people started reaching out, wanting me to design their spaces. I think that definitely gave me the confidence to know that this is something I could pursue and something I actually really enjoyed. And maybe something that not everybody's about to jump into overnight. So just the little pride that comes with that part about I found my little thing again. So when I moved up to Nashville and put together, my idea for my company, it was very exciting to find a clear direction more than anything. This is what I'm going to do now. I found exactly where I needed to be, where people were responding and resonating with what I was making. I've always taken the opportunity as it comes, but was not really prepared in a way of the response that I was going to get here. It was a lot to do in a short amount of time that I definitely wasn't anticipating. Maybe 9 projects were going at the same time when I had just started this company, basically. Being the developer and the designer and the contractor, I'm carrying the financial stress of pulling these things through. For well over a year, it didn't even seem possible to take a weekend. Every minute was spoken for. There was also relational issues, going through a divorce, trying to separate those two to where I couldn't slack off on my work, my employees. You have no option. You have to push through. I just had to become a little isolated. I think that's where kind of like the fear and the anxiety of like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? All of those things going on at once was just too much to hold together for too long. The thing that I started to notice was, again, what has happened in my other career paths that have shifted, a lack of like that first excitement and passion. I didn't even have time to think much about excitement and passion. And I think with the company getting to a place to where it was like successful, well, then I'm there. And that's like, do I keep just them being successful, or do I like kind of re-gauge what I imagine, success means? This is my dad's Nissan Patrol, and it's me and my little brother in there. It's the first thing I think I ever drove. Yeah, my favorite ones are the ones with the Jeep and the Lord of the Flies picture. And I guess in both of them, I'm super dirty from just being outside, mud, sand, kind of grubby. Looks like I didn't care so much. Just let it go. I'm like trying to get back to that. I loved to draw growing up, and I would draw mainly the animals that I liked, foxes and horses. And then I finally got to a point where I realized I had drawn every angle of the horse I could think of and every perspective and angle of a fox. And I remember telling my mom that, like, I think I'm not gonna draw anymore. I've drawn all the pictures. There's an expiry date with every path that I've been on, inevitably a time. I'm done with this now, and what's the next thing? I want to build a treehouse that's at least 25 feet high without having to have a ladder or a set of stairs to get to it, so folks can walk along basically a pathway, catwalk that goes up into the trees. It's got to build in some sort of flexibility into the structure. Because you know how a tree works and why it doesn't get blown over is because it has flexibility when the winds hit it. If it was too rigid, this is a life lesson. That was my life lesson the other day when I was sitting on my porch watching the trees. And I'm like, I need to be more flexible. Hard to explain what I'm doing now, but it's perfect. All the components together that have impacted me: nostalgia, being outside, relaxation, meditation, architectural design, peace, process, all loosely and intrinsically kind of like interconnected with this new project. It doesn't have an objective end goal. It doesn't have an objective purpose. It's sort of all just process. But this place has kind of stimulated a lot more dreaming, I guess. The life that it gives me, the location, the energy, the relationships that it's grown out of. A lot of the inward kind of soul, spiritual stuff is for me. As I continue to, create what I feel like I'm supposed to be creating, I'm very interested and excited to see what that is going to be for other people. So it's life-giving and challenging, but exactly just what I'm supposed to be doing. I needed change. I needed to go back to what I knew was where I feel like I really, knew myself, and I had my imagination and I had my energy. So it's kind of just, going back to where I was probably most of myself. The way I feel right now is lacking completely nothing. Fully content. This is being in process of everything I'm in process in, and being in the now, present moment, everything. I have everything, in this present moment. That's how it feels.